Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place where we take your sources, dig in deep, and pull out those key bits of knowledge so you get informed fast. Today, we're jumping headfirst into a Rugby Obsession deep dive. We're going to really unpack that recent Springboks versus Barbarians match. What does it tell us about, well, one of the world's top rugby teams, our mission? It's not just the score. It's about understanding the layers behind what looked like a dominant performance and, the strategic mind of a world champion coach.
That's right. We've been looking closely at this piece from Planet Rugby. The article is titled Springboks Rassie Erasmus Won't Get Carried Away with Barbarians Rout. And it's a great lens, really, not just on the game itself, but the deeper strategy that's always at play with the Springbok.
Definitely more than just a game.
It's almost like a masterclass in high-performance leadership, you could say.
Okay, but before we really get into the thick of it, just a quick reminder, if you like these deep dives and you want to stay, ahead of the curve on rugby, make sure you hit subscribe for Rugby Obsession, wherever you get your deep dives. You really don't want to miss out on these insights. Right, so this victory. The Borks got what the article calls a comfortable win over the Barbarians in Cape Town.
Comfortable feels like an understatement, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, scoring 8 tries, racking up over 50 points. That wasn't just a win. It was, well, a proper masterclass. Total dominance.
Yeah, a really relentless display.
Left very little doubt about their current form. But what really stood out for you from that scorecard?
Well, beyond just the sheer number of points, what's fascinating is the spread of try scores. The Planet Rugby piece lists them off. Malcolm Marx, Cheslin Kolbe, Vincent Shituka, he got 2, actually Jan Hendrik Wessels, Kurtley Arendse, Lud de Jager, Damien Dion.
Wow, that's quite a list.
Exactly. It shows this isn't a team relying on just 1 or 2 guys to finish. Yeah. It points to a really widespread attacking threat, a collective effort, threats coming from everywhere.
Speaks volumes about their depth, for sure.
And the system they have in place.
And get this, Jesse Kriel, who is captaining the side, he was particularly pleased, not just with the score, but how they did it, especially because it was a rainy night in Cape Town.
Right. The conditions weren't ideal.
No. He's quoted saying the team aimed to be bold and positive and not let the conditions affect us and keep the ball in hand. That shows incredible resilience, doesn't it? But is it possible Kriel's downplaying the conditions a bit?
That's a good question.
Like, maybe the Babas were more hampered than the Boks just being brilliant? Or is it genuinely just their adaptability shining through?
It's probably a bit of both, right? Kriel's comment does suggest a deliberate choice, not just reacting to the weather. It raises that question. How much did the wet weather stop the Barbarians playing their usual open style? And how much was it just the Springboks rising above it with skill and a smart game plan?
Yeah.
Kriel did single out Aphelele, Fassi, Cheslin, Kolbe, and Kurtley Arendse.
Yeah.
He called them special rugby players who can, make something out of nothing.
Kolbe especially, yeah, he was highlighted.
Kolbe was named a star performer. So you have that individual brilliance on top of the team strategy. Sometimes in bad weather, that bit of magic is what makes the difference. And they clearly had it in spades.
Suggests they prepare for everything.
Yeah.
System, individuals, the lot.
Exactly. Both systemically and by backing those game breakers.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting for me. Despite this, massive win, almost flawless, Rassie Erasmus, the head coach, was apparently very keen to, quote, keep his team's feet on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that quote.
He stressed, we won't get carried away with this performance, and insisted tougher games are set to come. That's, well, remarkable focus. But is there maybe a risk in being too grounded after such a big win? Or is that exactly the mindset needed at the top?
That's the classic paradox, isn't it, of trying to sustain excellence. And look, this isn't just Rassie spouting coaching cliches. The article really shows how he puts this into practice. This idea that knowledge is only valuable if you actually use it, not just celebrate getting it.
Right. Actionable insights.
For him, every single game, even a 50-point rout, it's a data point. It's a chance to check things, adjust things. It's like a constant feedback loop. So when he says, yeah, some of the newer guys showed us that they can do it at this level, but then immediately follows up with a layer them in. That's not just about giving someone a first cap. It's a whole integration process.
Layering them in. I like that phrasing.
Yeah, making sure they don't just perform once, but they really absorb the Springbok system, the culture, turning that raw talent into something reliable, consistently high-performing.
It's a long game he's playing.
Totally. It's about building an enduring setup, not just chasing the next win.
So, drilling down a bit, what does this mean for the immediate future then? After this Barbarians game, Erasmus mentioned specific plans, didn't he? Games against Italy and Pretoria and then Georgia.
He did, yeah.
And his aim, which sounded surprisingly precise, was to have a group of, 45, 50 that have had some game time by the time they play Georgia.
Like 45 or 50 players, yeah.
That's a huge focus on building depth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really testing guys out, making sure everyone's ready.
It absolutely is. And if you connect those dots to the bigger picture, Rassie's clearly thinking way beyond just winning these next 2 games. He's already talking about the drier conditions they expect in Pretoria for that Italy test.
At Loftus, right?
Yep. He said they can't wait to play on a dry pitch and improve on our attack.
Mm.
So the goal isn't just win Italy, win Georgia. It's to get better as a whole unit before the really tough stuff starts, the Casalaga Rugby Championship.
Constant evolution.
Constant evolution, refinement, keeping that spot at the very top. It's a really meticulous, almost scientific approach to developing the team. Every match is a step towards the next level.
That proactive planning around conditions and always improving, that's the hallmark of the best teams, isn't it?
It really is.
We're only just scratching the surface here on the Springboks deep dive, kind of peeling back those layers of strategy. And it's these layers, looking at them one by one, that really show you what makes elite teams tick. So if you're finding this interesting, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. It's genuinely your shortcut to staying informed on rugby, straight to your ears. Now, when you really analyze Rassie's comments, his whole approach, it's so clear this Barbarians match wasn't just a friendly kickabout.
Not at all. A warm-up maybe, but a very serious one.
Right. He's using every single game, practically every minute, as a building block, a crucial one. The source even mentions specific experiments, like using Andre Esterhausen as a replacement flanker.
Exactly. Which brings up a really important question, I think, for any top team, sports or otherwise. How do you balance celebrating a big win, 50 points, 8 tries, that feels good, with the kind of hard-nosed, critical evaluation you need to keep improving?
Tricky balance.
Very. And Erasmus's approach seems to nail it. It reflects this culture where every chance, even smashing the opposition, is treated like gold dust. It's a chance to fine-tune tactics, test players in new, maybe slightly uncomfortable roles, try out different strategic ideas.
Like Esterhuizen at flanker. That's not exactly standard.
No. For anyone who follows rugby, Esterhuizen is this big, powerful center. Great attacker. Putting him in as a flanker, flankers are usually breakdown specialists, tackling machines. It's a different skill set.
So what's the thinking there?
It shows Rassie's willing to think outside the box, right? Maybe see if skills can cross over, test versatility, maybe unlock some new tactical options down the line. He's planning ahead.
It's definitely not just about the final score, then.
Not at all. It's the process, the learning you get from every single play, every decision.
And it seems like he's already deep into analyzing the game, even right after that huge win, not just basking in it. He noted things like, some of the half gaps and some of the line breaks we made would have stuck if the weather had been drier.
Yeah, specific details.
Exactly. Pinpointing tactical tweaks needed for future games, probably tougher conditions. That level of self-assessment right after a triumph, it's fascinating.
It really sets them apart. He's not just saying we must do better. He's showing where and why.
And this really matters to you, the listener, doesn't it? Because it pulls back the curtain on what elite performance actually looks like.
It does. It's way more than just having talented players or a strong starting 15. It's about smart player management, being incredibly adaptable and having this relentless, almost obsessive drive to get better, even after you've just won big.
That constant cycle. Perform, analyze, adapt, refine.
Precisely. And that dedication to growth, that strategic foresight, that's a huge reason why the Springboks are consistently right there at the top of world rugby. Honestly, any organization wanting sustained success could probably learn a thing or two from watching them.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, we've looked at the Springboks' dominant win over the Barbarians. We explored not just the scoreboard, but that incredibly strategic mind of Rassie Erasmus and, the sheer brilliance of players like Fassi, Kolbe, Arendse.
They are difference makers.
Absolutely. And it's just such a powerful reminder, isn't it, that even when you win big, that pursuit of improvement, it just never stops.
Never. For the Beckos, every win seems like just another data point on that journey.
Towards peak performance, consistently.
Which makes me wonder, given Rassie's careful approach, his focus on layering in talent, what specific challenges do you think the Springboks might face against Italy and Georgia? Tactically, perhaps? And looking further ahead, how do you see their hunt for drier conditions and that improved attack playing out when they hit the intensity of the Rugby Championship?
Good questions.
We genuinely love to hear your thoughts on all this. What do you think?
Absolutely. Let us know what really stood out to you from this deep dive. And hey, don't forget, if you want more of these strategic breakdowns, these hidden insights, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. Keep these deep dives coming straight to your ears.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.